Hey there, Ben and Kelly, and we're with one of our favorite comedians that honestly we haven't spoken to in probably a decade.
It's been way too long.
Yeah, but he's appearing at the Louisville Comedy Club tonight. Josh Sneed. Welcome, Josh.
Hello, friends. Hello. It has been
Been
too
too
long.
long.
I know. You know what?
You
I blame
literally live in
Facebook.
Cincinnati. This is bad.
Yeah, I know. But I blame Facebook. I blame Facebook for all of this because you forget how long it's been since you've actually spoken to someone or seen someone in person because you feel like you keep up with
Right.
everything they
Yes.
got going on. And you're like, oh, yeah, I talked to him. Oh, wait, that's been 10 years since I talked to him, I guess. Yeah, my bad.
But it's like you know everything else about their life. It's like, oh, hey, how's the wife? How's the kids? How's the
That's
new
right.
dog?
That's right. Yeah. It's a sad truth, but it is true. But I've totally missed you guys. Like you're two of my favorite people to get to talk to when I'd be out on the road. And life gets in the way sometimes, but I'm back at it, a lot more now that my kids are a little older. So I was very purposeful break for me from hitting the road as hard as I used to. When I first started, I would do 50. My first year full time on the road, I did 50 out of 52 weeks that year.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's a
So,
lot.
I mean, I was gone constantly. And
Yeah.
then, once I got married and had kids, I was very purposeful of how much I was gone. I didn't want to miss anything. And then just over kind of literally the last couple of years, my kids are 12 and 7 now. I've kind of reached a point, or I guess I should say they've reached a point where they're a little more self-sufficient and my wife doesn't need as much help with them and the things that they've got going on. So it's been a little bit easier to kind of turn the focus back to comedy.
Mhm.
And so, I had a special come out with Dry Bar in 2019, I think. And then I've just sort of slowly, as COVID's gone by, worked on new material. And I'm very close to having a new special that I'm recording, and I'll be testing out a lot of that material tonight in Louisville. So that's kind of the genesis of getting back to a lot of the places that I've missed being for so long. And so I'm glad because it means I get to talk to you guys again.
That's so great. We can actually be like, co-writers in the audience then is what you're saying. That's
come on out. Give me immediate feedback after the show. After the show. I don't want Kelly to be in the back of the room like, cut. All right, let's try that one again.
Tell your dog joke. That was great, Josh. Now, do you have any jokes?
Oh man.
No,
I don't.
No.
And listen, look, I'm all about TikTok and everyone getting their come up on social media, but man, if all you post is clips of you dealing with hecklers, that makes people believe that they're supposed to heckle at the show.
Yes, that you
and
like.
So I would just like to tell anyone watching, like at my show, don't feel the need to do that. I prepared stuff that I want you to hear, and I'll be sharing that with you. And
you just relax and enjoy.
Yeah, we don't need to work on improv skills tomorrow night or tonight. We're gonna do fine with the stuff that was written before I get there. So
now wait, do you actually try it out on your wife first?
I'll run some stuff by her, especially if it's about her.
Well, that's really kind of you.
Well, it's fair.
Something that she said, no, you cannot talk about that. That's off limits.
Listen, I can't even tell this story. I don't even have a way to tell this story on the radio yet, but our honeymoon started with a disaster in Mexico. Okay. Let's just say I was woken up at 3 a.m. by her telling me that she had drank the water. Let's just say it that way.
Oh no. Oh, we all know what that means.
Yeah. And so I even took the blame for it at the resort that night, telling them that I had gotten sick. And so I had not told a soul. And she finally, in the last like 6 months, was like, I think you need to start working that one into your act. So that's how I know that we're good.
Yeah.
Good.
If I have permission to start working on that story, then I know that I can say about anything.
I mean, that is a good quality to have in a partner when, I mean, sometimes, you just find out after the fact, it's like, ooh, Yeah.
You just need enough time
Yeah.
to get away from that, and then it's like, okay, now
That's
I
what they
go
say,
through the
right?
therapeutic process in my head. Yes.
Tragedy plus time equals comedy. I think Mark Twain said that.
Yes.
Now, Josh, I gotta be honest. Are we gonna see any of your greatest hits?
Well, I mean, not from 10 years ago.
Are you so you're not gonna tell the story of when you farted on Jessica Simpson? That's what I'm getting at, Josh.
That story is well documented and available anytime. So I was approached by a label out of Nashville called 800 Pound Gorilla. They're awesome. They've done specials for a lot of our friends, Greg
Sure.
Warren and guys like that. And they're doing these, they're calling them greatest bits albums. And so I recorded one of those for them back in February, and it's in its final production right now. So that should be out here literally in the next month or so.
All right.
And I call it Do Over. And it's basically like me redoing a bunch of those old bits. And that story is on there.
So fantastic because it's iconic.
Can I tell you a really fun follow-up that I don't know that I ever shared with you since it happened?
Yes.
So for those that don't know, I have a story about how I farted on Jessica Simpson on an airplane a long time ago because she wasn't nice to me when we were boarding. And so I tell that story on my Comedy Central special. And so it's, you know, it's out there, it's been circulating, and, you know, it gets on Funny or Die and gets like the highest rating you can get on Funny or Die, where it's like, you know, like logged forever as like that rating. It's just like so dumb that a story like that would, but anyway, I get a call from my manager. This is several years ago. I get a call from my manager and he's like, "What's wrong with your website?" And I was like, "What do you mean what's wrong with the website?" He's like, "I don't know, it's down." So I go and I try to go, and yeah, it's down. So I reach out to like the guy that helps me with my website, and I go, "Do you know what happened?" You know, and he goes, "It looks like too much traffic. It crashed." And I was like, "Why would my website get so much traffic that it crashed?" And so we find out that it came from Google off of the search result, Jessica Simpson farted. And what had happened was she was in, you know, she has like a clothing line and perfume or whatever. So she's in a meeting at Macy's, and I guess like, you know, she doesn't really handle a lot of the business part of it. So she's sitting like off to the side while everyone's at this big table in this meeting, and she lets one rip. And she, I guess, thought it might be quiet or something, but because she was so far away from everyone else, like everyone knew that it was her. And somehow that news got to TMZ. And so I don't know if they still have a TV show, but TMZ at some point had a TV show where they would talk about these stories. And I guess that was one of the stories they talked about on the TV show. So people started talking about it. And then it got on Reddit, and people were Googling Jessica Simpson farted, where I had already been the #1 search result for like 6 years because of my story. So her farting in a meeting at Macy's got me so much traffic to my website that it crashed.
Oh, that's amazing.
Can we?
Does she know how connected you two are?
She does.
Does she?
So I was in, there's another follow-up story. So I had to go to Dallas to do a show. And a lot of the times the comedy clubs will send like a local limo service to pick you up from the airport. And so I get, this guy's like smiling with a sign with my name on it. He's like smiling real big. And I was like, I go, "Hey man." And he goes, "Oh my God, I couldn't wait for you to get in my car." I was like, "Really?" And he goes, "Yeah, I've got the best story for you." He's like, "I listen to comedy all the time, and your Jessica Simpson story is like my favorite bit I've ever heard." And I got assigned to pick her up from the airport one day. And he was like, "So I had your CD queued up."
No.
And he goes, "I had it like a track or two before, and you know, she's in the way back of this like a regular limo." And he goes, "And I'm playing it, you know." And he's like, and then all of a sudden the bit about her starts, and he goes,
"Oh my God."
And he goes, "I'm just trying to like watch her in the rear view mirror." And he goes, "She doesn't even look at me." and she just presses the button that makes the like divider go up between them. And he was like, I couldn't wait to ever tell you in person.
Oh, that is so great. That is what a great story.
Oh, what a badge
well,
of honor that
Who
that
would have
is out
thought,
there.
right?
Yeah. What
I
a
love
stamp.
it. I love it.
One time, this story, I can't believe how many different legs this story has that it reminds me of, but I'm a huge Star Wars nerd, like the biggest. And so I went to Star Wars Celebration, which is like Comic-Con, but all Star Wars in
wow.
Anaheim. And there's like literally, I'm telling you, there's like 35,000 people there. And most of them are dressed up like Star Wars characters.
Right.
So it is a zoo.
Right.
And I'm just walking around looking at like different stuff that people are selling. And someone taps me on the shoulder and I turn around and he goes, "Did you fart on Jessica Simpson?" And I was like, yeah. And he goes, "I knew it was you." And he's like, "All I do every day at work is listen to comedy on streaming. And whenever they
that's
play
so
a bit,
funny.
they've got the album cover right next to the
Oh my
like the
God.
name
Yeah.
of the track that's playing. And that album cover for me is literally just my face." He's like, "I've seen your face so many times sitting in my desk." He's like, "I knew that was you." And I was like, my mom and dad have to be so proud.
So
that
proud.
This is what I'm known for.
I love it. Josh Sneed, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Are you kidding,
Oh.
guys? I want to call in just to say hi, like not even when I have stuff to promote, because you two
We
are
would
the
love that.
best.
You have an open invitation. All right, man.
Yes,
you.
it's been too long. Make sure it's not another 10 years before you hang with us.
Hopefully tonight will go well and it won't be that long. So
All right.
thank
All
you.
right,
Come on
good.
out, see the show, and then and I hope to talk to you guys again soon. Thanks.
All right, good deal. Josh
Awesome.
Sneed, thank you so much. Louisville Comedy Club. You can see him. Tickets available tonight. Appreciate it, man.